Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. There might be gentlemen watching this as well, so I want to make sure to say hello to gentlemen too. But, my market is mostly women that I coach, and I love coaching women. I love to share with them about techniques and tools in order for them to embrace what's coming their way and make the most of it, which I think is such a beautiful thing. So I am just getting things ready. I have right up here on this board, and I'm going to get here in the picture in just a second so you can see me and I can see you and I can say hello. I think I got things okay here. I'm going to stand on this side. That's going to probably be the best. So hello, everyone. So just a quick intro is my name is Angela Dryden, and I am a certified life coach, and I coach women who struggle with codependency and people pleasing. I really love to coach women that are in a relationship. So whether they are married, whatever that kind of looks like, that they're in a committed relationship where they might have a partner that has an addiction of some kind, and it feels like it's making it harder for that codependency and stuff. And what I love to do is really help you learn how to keep your side of the street clean, teach you how to detach with love so that you can show up in a way for your significant other that makes you feel empowered and good about being you, and you allow your partner to be them, which is a beautiful thing. So I'm going to talk today some tips on coaching yourself. So this is going to be my first video, and I'm going to have 5 videos on the topic about coaching yourself. And so the first one right now, we are talking about being right here, an observer. Learn to observe where you are. The first thing about coaching yourself is actually the opposite of what I'm doing. Less talking, more watching and listening to everything around you and what's going on. That is really key. So I'm going to show you here. We've got my beautiful drawings. I know, you guys, this is A plus stuff right here. We've got a city over here. I've got neighborhoods, towns. So maybe a community in which you're growing up in or where you live, cities that you visit, people, their actions, what they're doing. Then over here I have people speaking, what they're saying. I guess I didn't do this very well. I need to turn this the other way, but I'm going to go ahead and go on this side. All right. And so people, what they're doing, then we have communications, reading, what we're, maybe even what we're listening to, a radio. I know who does a radio now, right? I mean, it's all, podcasts and all that good stuff, audibles, so all this stuff that you're reading and listening to, but then also TV, what you're watching, and then computer, what you're seeing. So we, as human beings right now in this world, we have a ton of things that we can observe. I didn't even put nature up here. I mean, that's just the basic, of course, we can observe nature and creatures and how they're reacting in certain situations, what they're doing, what their life's looking at. So when you decide to become an observer and look at everything and participate as far as just watching and observing and listening to what's going on. And one of the things as you're observing, what I would love to see you do, so for this week, when this video comes out for this week, because next week I'll have number 2 of what to do to help coaching yourself, is that as you observe this week, observe your surrounding, is maybe realize maybe when you observe something, when you hear something, are you having a reaction to that situation? Are you noticing that you start to feel a certain way? Because our next topic we're going to talk about is going to be on emotions. So we're going to go deeper into that. But I just want to ask you, as you're kind of seeing stuff, as you're hearing people, speak about things, as you're reading stuff, do you find that you go on the side of maybe becoming defensive, maybe even becoming attacked by those things, even though you're just reading something and yet you feel like you're being attacked? Nothing's happening to you. You're just reading these situations. And so maybe you're watching something on the TV and you're seeing things that are happening. Right now, we have plenty of things as far as of information that's coming out and coming up to us, and we can have certain things that start to come up in our body. because of the things that we're seeing or what's going on in our world. So I am going to do a little erase on this board real quick here. And then I want to go into something else. So, right? So we're going to be an observer. So I want you to be an observer. I want you to really look around your world, what's going on. Like I said, you watch TV and all of a sudden something reacts a certain way and you notice, you're like, nothing else happened besides me seeing or me listening to this, but yet I feel a certain way in my body. Something is coming up for me. And so that is the observation part. That is the first part when it comes to coaching yourself, is truly being willing just to listen and to hear what is going on. So there is a model that I coach when I coach clients that I was certified in coaching. So the model that we use, there's going to be a couple of different lines here. So we have the C, the T, the F, the A, and the C. All right, guys. So this is what we're talking about, first stage of coaching. So we are talking about all the observing, what you're seeing, what's kind of going on around you. That is the first step. It is the circumstance. This is what's going on. This is somebody said something to me. This is something just happened, either somebody did something to you, you learn information about something that's happening. That is all circumstantial. That is all the situation of what's happening. That's the beginning of the situation, is the circumstance, right? Then the situation becomes more of as a whole and body of what it is. And I want to offer to you that as you become the observer and you're looking around, you are looking for circumstances in your life. So a circumstance can be that you have a husband and my husband said these words to me. That is a circumstance. And so like I was explaining before at the beginning, is when I was talking about all of the things that you can see and observe, sometimes it can be kind of overwhelming, right? So we have so many things and tasks and things that we have to do during our day, and we start to feel like overwhelmed, right? So we start to feel like this heaviness on us because there's so much going on. And what I want to offer to you is that that is your circumstance that is going on, but because all this stuff is going on around you, you are having a thought about the circumstance that's happening, right? So one of the things that I like to use right now, because of in our pandemic state that we as a society seem to be in, is so say COVID-19. So COVID-19 is a circumstance. Any thought or feeling we have, or any thought that we have on that circumstance, is exactly that. It is our thought that we choose about it. So that's going to be our next thing, is our thought. So our thought about what's going on, right? So this is what we're thinking about, what we're seeing, what we're observing. So we see a tree standing and we think that's a beautiful tree. That is our thought. And if we have that thought about the tree, it's not the tree itself, because somebody could see the tree and go, oh, that tree's ugly. Or I don't like the trees. I don't want to be in the trees. I want to be out in the cities. So when they see trees, they think dirty, and it's dirty out here. That's going to be their thought about the circumstance. It is the same circumstance. That tree is a tree. It's the same for whether it's you or for somebody else. So the circumstance isn't any different. It's your thought about the circumstance that changed. That was different. So if somebody sees a tree, they think, oh, this tree is beautiful. It just makes me feel peaceful here. Then that's your thought about the tree. Somebody else sees a tree and goes, oh, it's so dirty around here. There's too many trees. That is their thought about the tree. The circumstance is neutral. So the circumstance is what we're going to be called, what you would think about like in a court of law. This is the circumstance. This is the facts. This is exactly what happened. There is no ifs or ands on it. This is exactly, so you want to get as clear as you can about the circumstances in your life. The more clear that you can get, so the more you become an observer and you look around your life and you realize that you see these situations, these circumstances that are popping up, the more that you see that, the more you're going to become clearer on that circumstance. And so that is kind of what I want to begin with this, with your my 5. So there's going to be 5 videos that I'll be doing on Fridays. And so this is going to be the first video here. And so this right here is exactly that. We are starting here to become an observer, to look all around our world. And the first thing we want to do is really get clear on the circumstance. So like example, if you're saying my husband was being a jerk. Okay, so my husband being a jerk is actually a thought, but you could say my husband said to me that I need to cook dinner. So my husband said the words, "Hey honey, will you cook dinner?" And if I had the thought he's being a jerk, that wasn't the circumstance. It was what I thought about the circumstance. So really getting really clear on that will help you as you learn to self-coach your own presentation, like how you are showing up in the world. So becoming that observer and really getting clear on that for yourself. So I hope this is helpful. I hope that you kind of gain a little bit of insight from this and find some good stuff here. This stuff has been life-changing for me. And the more I coach others on this process, and the more I coach myself, keep my thoughts clean, the more that I realize that I truly can create peace in my life without ever changing the circumstance. I can observe all I want. I can see everything that I want. I can be a part of society. I can choose those things that I want in my life. This is here the circumstances, but my thoughts about the circumstances become more clear to me on how it is that I want to be when I start to add in how I want to show up. Instead of reacting to things, I am actually processing what it is that I want to be thinking about this situation instead of just going to autopilot and just reacting in a way. I start to go, no, this is the facts that I got. This is the information. My husband said words and I'm angry because I'm choosing to be angry. I can choose something different. I can choose a different thought that I can have about that, which would cause a different emotion for me in my life. And so I want to just go through that a little bit. So this is the beginning of your number 1 in coaching yourself and tips. Another little tip I would say is that something that's helped me immensely in my life is keeping a journal. And so I keep a journal, whether it's daily or weekly. It's obviously a few times throughout the week. So at least weekly that I journal, and I go through my thoughts that are coming up for me and what is it that is maybe causing a feeling, right? And it's my thoughts that are causing my feelings, which we're going to go into deeper on the next one. But what is the circumstance? Let me get really clear on that so that I can choose the thought that I want to have about it. So I actually stop, become an observer, and actually, like I said, I don't get reactive. I choose to become, I choose to make the choice of what it is that I want to think and not just react to it. So I hope this is helpful. I'm sure it is. I know it's going to be because it has been life-changing for me. So again, these are suggestions. This is a process in which I coach my clients on, but then also I love to share this and add value into this world and help you get some tools that will be useful for you. My coaching that I do specifically with my clients is way deeper than this. But I love to share tools that help on the surface, right? That help you get to where it is you're wanting to go. Because the thought work, the more observant you are, the more that you take the time to process these things for yourself, the more that you will be able to show up in this world the way that you want to, and how you can choose to find possibilities instead of just looking at the world as though it is happening to me. You start to, start to realize the thinking of, actually, maybe this is happening for me right now. I wish you the best today. Have a wonderful, beautiful day. Thank you for tuning in for the first session on coaching yourself. And I will have another part next week on number 2 on emotions and experiencing emotions that we have in our lives. Thanks so much, ladies. Take care. Bye.